in the state of New Jersey, officials there considering a pair of bills that regulate homeschooling. Correspondent Nate Foy reports live from Hoboken this afternoon. Hey, Nate.
Hey, Jillian. So, yeah, there are two bills, both introduced this summer, that parents here are watching closely. Parents with homeschooled children, I should say. One of those bills would require those parents and their children to meet once a year with a school district employee for a health and wellness check. The other one is probably the most controversial, and it would require parents to align their curriculum with the state standards, which, of course, is the reason why many of these parents pulled their children from school in the first place. Take a look. This would force parents to teach a curriculum that, quote, highlights and promotes diversity, including economic diversity, equity, inclusion, tolerance, and belonging in connection with gender and sexual orientation, race and ethnicity, disabilities, and religious tolerance.
So the reporter, he was incorrect in that there was two bills, and he said the second one is more concerning than the first, and that is incorrect, and I will explain why. So here's the two bills that are in New Jersey. So here's the first one, okay? It's the mental health invasion bill. It's what we call the mental health invasion bill in New Jersey, if you're in New Jersey. But if you're not in New Jersey, it's okay, because they're going to be coming for all states for this kind of stuff. And I'll explain why in the red states, it's going to look a little different, but the results are likely going to be the same. So A5796 or Senate S 4589. The reporter said the second bill, which is the woke curriculum bill, is more concerning than the first one. And I disagree. And here's why. The second bill is going to force homeschoolers to align with critical race theory and queer theory curriculum. All homeschoolers must register with the state and submit annual portfolios, which basically gets the government in your home. The curricula for homeschool must match New Jersey student learning standards, which is packed with DEI and LGBT trans lunatic propaganda, anti-racism nonsense, teaching kids that America's racist, oppressive. And then it's just to basically make families who don't want to be in these woke schools invite the government in, essentially. And they can punish you later. They can do penalties. This is just the beginning. Okay, so that's very bad. And they dedicated most of that segment to A5825. Okay, but here is why this is the bill that we warned about in our tool home invasion. Okay, because this is exactly what we've been pounding in your K through 12's mental health. Mental health is a Trojan horse. So now this bill forces, I don't know how they're going to enforce it. Homeschool parents, should they say, fuck you, right? And say no. But they're going to force homeschool families to sit with, guess who? School counselors for a wellness check to see how the child's doing. But of course, when you come from a homeschool family, chances are you're going to come, even if you're not from a religious standpoint, you're going to come from a patriotic, America's not oppressive, you can't be born in the wrong body, and you're obviously going to teach your kids to be smart and educated, and they're going to blow public school kids away by leaps and bounds. They will flag the conservative families as abusive. And anything conservative, or you don't even have to be super conservative, you just got to be like not crazy woke. They're going to flag that as dangerous, and you're going to start getting visits from CPS doing home checks. And the data they collect on this once a year meeting will be used to justify to separate parents. And this is exactly what we said back in January 2023. We saw this in late 2022, what they were going to do with mental health. Now, of course, these bills, you have to understand, the key word is now. Now is once a year. Then they're gonna amend the bill to be once a quarter, and then once a month. And then it'll be like they can check anytime they want. That's how this stuff works, right? They never start off with their goal. Okay. So these two bills, something very similar is going to be in your state. Obviously, if you're a blue state, it's going to be almost identical. If you're a red state, it's not going to be so on the nose. but they're going to still be like, oh, let's, register your homeschool, register this, or maybe there's a mental health. And so they're going to get in through that. It won't be as forceful and on the nose if you're a red state. But if you have all this mental health bullshit in your red state, which all red states do, they use the American School Counselor Association in your public schools. And eventually when you get enough people polling the schools, they're going to start going, well, if you're homeschool, we want to support you and we can send a counselor and do home visits. That's how it's going to start. Okay. So the blueprint's the same. It's just a little slower in the red states.